Welcome to the fourth installment of how I restored my 1984 VHS vending machine and didn't ask my wife if I could buy it, but I bought it anyway. I scanned all the documentation we got in the last episode and uploaded it to archive.org because when the aliens inevitably take over the planet, I want them to know how to run a VHS vending machine. Not how to fix climate change. No, just, here's how you rent Beethoven's Second for $1. You're welcome, aliens. These are the mystery numbers. Ooh, these cryptic little digits were found deep inside the machine like hieroglyphics in a Radio Shack. And they allegedly tell the transport where to go, which is helpful because right now the transport is experiencing what I would call a full existential crisis. See, while I was messing around in the maintenance menu, just pressing buttons like a toddler on an elevator who's had too much Capri Sun, I accidentally changed the settings. And now the transport's like, wait, what am I doing? Who even am I? To make matters worse, the transport has developed a directional personality disorder. It loves going up and left, just all day up and left, like it's fleeing from a crime scene, but down and right? Nope, not this time, Satan. But today, miraculously, it's working in all directions. Like, it finally went to therapy and it started taking its medication. So, now I'm back at the green screen interface, which is still haunted. And every time I return, I keep increasing the height and the transport rises before it tries to park in front of a tape slot. Which is, a really wild way to live, but here we are. And you know what's fun? I filmed all of this before I realized I could have just used those mystery numbers to reset everything. I mean, classic me, trial and error, right? It's like playing Operation, but instead of a buzzer, it just costs you sanity points. Still, despite all the drama and heartache, telling the transport to go find a slot, weirdly kind of fun, like training a stubborn cat to do a card trick. You don't expect it to work, but when it does, you're like, oh my God, look at him go! Okay, well, maybe not right now, but we're close. We got to get up here. And now, ladies and gentlemen, my concluding attempt to make the transport hit slot 15. It goes into its home position and takes a little smoke break. Then it comes back up, moves up, goes into the slot, and it's almost lined up. It's like almost perfect. Look at that. It's just so close, so close. Now, get ready for some disappointment. I go and try to finesse that last couple inches, and I see that the transport's in operation, but I do not hear the humming. There's no moving. The dark reality is setting in that it is no longer going to be going left today. It's done. I mean, it was doing left all the time. It was so left. It was like, Bernie Sanders. I think I know what's going to have to happen. We're going to have to break it out, Sark. Let's go.
Bring in the logic probe!
Our transport has a worn-out sticker on it that has seen better days. The video vendor manual has a super basic representation of the sticker for reference. But I'm a perfectionist, so I decide I'm going to create a perfect replica of the set movie in slot one at a time sticker. In Adobe Illustrator to prove I once took a course in Adobe Illustrator. A friend's offered to print some samples, and if it all works out, we'll buy a batch and give them away to people who send us a tape, in addition to one of our zillion extra membership cards. Yay! So I'm in the mood, emotionally and spiritually, to fix the printer inside our 1984 VHS vending machine. And my first bright idea, which I discovered via the Google, thank you, Dr. Google, is that maybe the ink ribbon isn't broken. Maybe it's just dry, like bone dry, like Arizona retiree dry. So I roll the spool like I know what I'm doing, and then I bust out the WD-40. Because according to at least one guy on the internet with a username like TonerDaddy69, this might work. Maybe. Possibly. And look, if the internet says to lube your ribbon with a household solvent, I'm down to clown. So here we are in the final stage of spooling. I think that's the word. I do not speak printer, and we're going to hit the print button, and it's not printing. It made a smudge, though. Man, TonerDaddy69 totally ripped me off. You, TonerDaddy, you. So I decide to give the printer one last college try, like when you retake Intro to Geology because you're convinced this time you'll care about rocks. And when that goes nowhere, I pivot to my next brilliant plan, checking if any power is actually reaching the print head. The print head, by the way, is this mysterious black triangle thing that has thus far contributed nothing to society. It smeared some ink once, but honestly, that was more insulting than helpful. So I remove it from the printer circuit board like I'm doing surgery with zero qualifications, and I hook up my voltmeter, and sure, there's some activity, but not enough to convince me that this isn't all about an elaborate gaslighting operation where the printer pretends it's my fault and I'm just standing like, am I the drama? So I'm staring at the sketchy voltage coming out of the printer board like it's a raccoon I caught stealing my mail, and I say to myself, all right, time to break out the big boy tools. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce you to the Logic Probe. Now, in the 1983 cinematic masterpiece Tron, the evil guy Sark dramatically yells,
Bring in the logic probe!
And let me tell you, this is not that probe. That one looked like a lightsaber. Mine looks like a prop from a low-budget sci-fi film where someone dies of spreadsheets. But it's very helpful. It tells you if the little chips are doing anything or if they're just giving up and starting a cult. See, computer chips communicate in highs and lows, which is basically emotional whiplash. The Logic Probes translates all this like a tiny dramatic gossip and saying things like, hey, this chip's stuck on high and hasn't responded to any messages in weeks. And that is bad, but hey, it's a fun process, I assure you. You know what we're going to do? Pull this out. Now, we're getting a little bit desperate. We're going to push down on chips and see if that makes any difference, and it did not. So now we're going to try this thing. It's a very novel approach. We're going to take the print head, hold it in your hand, and see if it makes any difference. Nope, I don't feel it even budging. So perhaps the chip that's in charge of making the little fingers go out and hit the ink, maybe this chip has some problems. So we're going to see if it's getting power. I will use my meter to check it out, and we've got 5 volts, which means something's really broken. You know what? Let's take this thing out. Let's go look at what kind of board this is. Maybe somebody has one somewhere. We can find another one. This supposedly is a generic part. That's what they told me when I was at the DMV. Anyway, I'm going to put the feet back on this PCB. These are called PCB feet, by the way, and if you go online and search for them, you will not be surprised. That there is a bodge. That's where you take a wire and connect things that are broken on the front. And look, these chips were replaced some time ago. I mean, it looks pretty clean, but this board's had problems. What is this thing anyway? An NEC14B. Okay, I wonder what the B stands for. But we're going to go onto the eBays, do a search, and the very first result is, oh my God, $300. That's a lot of money. Okay, I don't want to spend $300, but this one looks beautiful. So let's see if they'll let me make an offer. No, not. That's better. Okay, let's see if they take this one. I'm feeling pretty good about this guy. You know what? I think we can replace this print head as well. Let's see. It's from Star Manufacturing. I'm not sure I've ever heard of them, but let's see if we can find them on the eBays again. We're 1 for 1, so let's see if we can go. Oh, there it is. Look at that. Beautiful. Never been used before in a box. It has like a dime? Is that a dime to show you the size? Okay, great. So we're going to buy this guy. It's super cheap. This is awesome. Man, things get cheap over time, right? Oh, you know what? Let's go 3 for 3. I'm sure we can replace the entire mechanism that holds both the PCB and there it is. See, we're going to take this whole guy. This could have mechanical problems, right? So let's just replace everything. And we're going to go to the eBay one last time. The DP824. Don't know what DP means. You guys don't think that out loud. All right, so here we go. We got another one brand new in a package. It's never been used. Looks like it also comes with a printhead. I'm only going to offer $15. Let's see what happens. Hey, and thanks for being my personal shoppers, even though you didn't do anything and I did everything. This has been a great experience. Hopefully this stuff comes in soon. Like and subscribe!